Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Custom Made Everything. I'm Tim, and on this episode, we're going to continue working on that huge ice hockey figure we've been making. We're going to finish the socks, we're going to start working on the decals and sizing those up, and we're also going to get some paint down onto the jersey. So let's dive into it. When we last left off, we were taking the masking tape off of this guide coat of white paint, and now we're using our brush and we're just filling in, making this white solid. Alright, so the striping on the socks is turning out really good. I've got a couple coats of white on there. We're going to now move on to the yellow. And for that yellow, we mixed up a custom color. On previous customs, I've just used the straight, getting the focus there, diary light yellow. But this one, I've mixed the diary light yellow, this golden yellow, and a drop of this Hansa yellow medium to come up with this beautiful color. So let's put it onto this sock and see how it looks. I should also add that when you make any custom color for a figure or for any piece of art, make sure you mix enough of it, because if you run out, you will never get that same color mixed up again. I don't know how well this looks on camera color-wise, but it looks great here. Alright, well, let's keep going. This paint's going on really nice. This color looks great. I'm gonna get a few more coats on it. I'll also share with you, I got a new brush. This is, I think, is called a filbert style brush. Let's see if it focused. And I really like how it's putting the paint on. It's really putting it on nice and smooth without any brush strokes. After a bunch of coats of yellow and white with a touch of navy down the middle, these socks are done. Now it's time to move on to making the decals. Once I'm in the program that I create my decals in, I like to use a canvas size of US letter paper. And every image that I'm going to use is going to get its own layer. I'll label this one logo. And next thing, I'm going to open up my source file. This file has been provided to me by Comeback Customs. He's a great customizer of sports figures, and if you're not following him, you should go check him out. Check out all his socials. So here we are. We're going to grab the layers that I require. We'll just do a quick copy, jump back into my document, and we'll paste them onto the layer of logo. So there's our logo. We'll just repeat the same step. We're going to add a new layer, give it a good name because we want to stay organized. This one's going to be for the back number. Jump back into our source document, copy the layers that we need. Make sure we've got our correct layer highlighted, paste them, and drop them in. Now this can be very rough, it doesn't need to be accurate. We're going to have a whole other process for sizing these. So we'll just continue doing the same process of copying and pasting into new layers until we have all of the images that we need. Alright, so fast forward now and you can see we've got all the logos that we need. We've got helmet, back numbers, we've got the front logo. But let's pay attention to this layer here. This layer has the number, the hem stripes, the name, the sponsor logo, and these are all taken from this source document, and I know that this source document has been scaled. So now all I have to do is get the back numbers to the right size, and once I do that, I'll know that I have the right size for my hem stripes. Alright. So now that we've got a very rough decal set on the computer, we're going to use this caliper tool and we're going to take some measurements. We're going to measure how big we think the decal should be. And if this is how big I think the number on the back should be, I'm going to transfer the measurement size to a ruler on our canvas. We're going to make that number the correct size, and we have to do that for all of the decals. So the pants, the gloves, the helmet, the jersey. So once we get all of those to a rough, proper size, we'll do a test print on regular paper. We'll cut those out, see if they look okay on the figure itself, make any adjustments that we need, and then we're ready to print onto actual decal paper. So that's what we're doing now, measuring and sizing. And now that we have the number the correct size, we need to make the name the correct size. So we'll scale them up, we'll check our reference photo,
And as we can see on this reference photo, the T goes to the edge of the 1, the S goes to the edge of the 8. So let's throw in some guides, and we'll adjust our name accordingly. There we go, that's much better. And now all I have to do is the same thing for every single decal that's going on this figure. Alright, so we've test printed on basic paper, and now we're going to cut these out and lay them on here and see how well they are for scale.
Alright, now that we're done scaling those decals and I'm happy with the size of everything, it's time to move on to painting this jersey. And since airbrushing the socks went so well, we're going to try the same thing with this jersey. I'm going to use this template to make sure my stripes are the right size and everything's proportioned. We're going to mask this up and get to painting. Well, I spent all last night masking this up. I've got shoulder stripes, I've got hem stripe, and I've got the first elbow stripe. So all of this is going to be white. Now, I've gone over these hem stripes. I've taken them on and off 2 or 3 times just to try and tweak it and get everything right. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, that this looks good when it's done. So as you just saw, we got the white airbrushed. I masked over the white, put down some yellow. I've decided not to mask over the yellow to airbrush navy, because if any of that navy gets underneath the tape and on top of the yellow, it's gonna be next to impossible to hand brush over top of it. The navy will just always bleed through the yellow. So we are gonna hand brush all of the navy features on this. This is the best part though of masking something up and airbrushing it, is taking this mask off to see what is underneath. I gotta admit, I'm not feeling as confident about this jersey as I am with the socks. The socks are really smooth. This jersey's got a lot of contours, lots of spots for the paint to get underneath that masking tape. But let's take this tape off and see how much touch-up we have to do. I got the masking tape off, and I gotta say, I don't hate the results. Our next step for this is to get the brushes out, and we'll do the hand painting. We're gonna touch up any marks that need touched up. We're definitely gotta get all this navy detail painted in. That navy's really gonna make this jersey come together. But all of that's gonna have to wait for the next video. So if you wanna keep up with this build, please subscribe to the channel. If you liked what you watched in this episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comments, or tips, please leave them in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.